Okay, so I'm so
Good
happy that
morning.
everyone is on here and that, we could attend. And we're going to start the supervisor training. I'm going to share my screen. I will give each and every one of you time to ask questions, but before I do share my screen, I do want to introduce myself. So my name is Crystal Feature. I'm the Business Services Consultant Supervisor for CareerSource Tampa Bay in the Business Services Unit. I also want to introduce, I'm Hillsborough County. I do want to introduce the supervisor for Pinellas County. Kevin, is Kevin on here?
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Great. All right. Hello, everyone.
Good
Nice to see
morning.
everyone on the call. And I am the Business Services Consultant Supervisor for CareerSource Tampa Bay with a focus on Pinellas County. And Crystal and I work very closely with each other. So I'll be in the background making sure everything's running smoothly and supporting her with this presentation. But for all you Pinellas employers, we're excited to have you on board. And I'm here to answer your questions and support you along the way. Thanks for being part of the program this year.
Absolutely. A second to thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Kevin, we need to you need to give me permissions to share my screen. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Kevin is the host of the call.
No problem. Try now. Very nice.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the 2026 Tampa Bay Summer Pays Employer Supervisor Training. So basically, in a nutshell, we're going to go over what's expected of the employer side when it comes to the youth this summer. Okay. So I'm sure we have returning employers and we have new employers, but in a nutshell, PWE stands for Paid Work Experience. And the program is funded by Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, also known as WIOA. It requires commitment from worksite for youth mentoring, is a partnership between the employer and CareerSource Tampa Bay, and it allows you to gain job-related skills and essential work readiness skills. Now, I'm going to go back up to the second bullet point where it says requires commitment from worksite for youth mentoring. I stress this a lot each year because it's very important that employers are looking at this as a mentorship perspective and not a free labor or labor at no cost for the summer because it's very important that we're mentoring the youth. We're teaching them what it's like to enter the workforce. We're giving them these skills because in the future they're going to be someone's permanent employee. For the eligibility for the paid work experience candidates, they have to be between the ages of 16 to 24, a resident of Hillsborough or Pinellas County, participation in the PWE Youth Summit, and complete work readiness skills training. So before they are your employee for the summer, they're going to go through some skills training the day of the summit, and they're going to be prepared and ready to interview with you guys the day of the summit. So how the program is designed. So it is 6 weeks. The pay rate is going to be $15 an hour. CareerSource Tampa Bay is the employer on hand. It's a maximum of 20 hours weekly. And we have a certain industries that we're targeting this year. Manufacturing is one, IT, which is information technology, financial and shared services, and healthcare. We do have, with paid work experience, we do have other programs for the youth this year as well, which is like work readiness. That's one of the programs which provides a structured and it exposes the youth to work readiness skills and provide them with a sense of achievement. So that's one program. And then we also have career exploration. That program starts at 15 years old. That assists the youth as well with learning work readiness capabilities. And then you have the work experience where they're actually going on site and working with employers and being mentored by employers, which is a paid work experience. Okay, so, and I know you guys have a lot of questions about it. Timekeeping and payroll. So this year, um, the timekeeping and payroll will be 100% through a company called Manpower. Um, But while we're doing that, it's important that if you have any changes to the schedule or anything to the work week, you notify that candidate's career coach. So you must notify the summer pace career coach that your PW participant started also on June 15th. That's the start date. You have to include their name, position, and location. Youth are not to exceed 20 hours per week. So they can't work 21 hours. They can't work 20.5 hours. It has to be 20 hours per week. Also, you notify your assigned recruiting coaches of any absences as early as possible. CareerSource Tampa Bay does not provide holiday pay or fringe benefits to the interns. If the work site is closed due to a holiday, you can modify the intern's work schedule to make up hours within that same week only. Worksite must establish a schedule for the youth and communicate all schedule and shift changes to the youth and recruiting coach. Breaks must be provided per youth labor laws, a minimum of 30-minute break after 6 hours of working. Timesheets are due on Friday by 12 p.m., no exceptions. Assistance can be provided by the coaches during their planned and unplanned worksite visits. So you guys will have career coaches that are going to come. They could do pop-ups and they could also plan schedules with you guys. If you guys have any issues with timekeeping, you let that career coach know. As I mentioned before, during the summit, the youth will sign up through Manpower. So all timesheets and everything timesheet related will go through Manpower. So Manpower serves as the employer of record, and they're going to be using PeopleNet as the timekeeping system. The schedule for payroll is it's biweekly. The interns will be paid on Fridays, and the payment method will be a first check is live, and all other pay issued via direct deposit. And that's all gonna go through Manpower. Each worksite will be assigned a dedicated career coach, as I mentioned, and they are going to be conducting monitoring, like I mentioned, the unplanned or planned on-site visits. This is to validate engagement of the intern and the worksite supervisor. It also provides coaching and mentoring support to the intern while they're working with you guys for the 6 weeks. So that's basically the scope of the work. Um, each supervisor, direct or alternate, must review and sign the pay work experience supervisor manual. So you guys will receive the manual, and there is um um the page that said that, hey, I viewed it, I read it, I went over it, and so did the alternate supervisor. You guys are to sign that page and return it to your designated business services consultant. Okay. It outlines the roles and the responsibilities of the worksite supervisor alongside with the intern. Each worksite must adhere to the original schedule agreed upon, which is going to be agreed upon during the summit. So you guys will have a chance to interview, have the person schedule, and they're going to sign off on it. Any changes to the work schedule or any added tasks must be submitted in writing and approved by CareerSource Tampa Bay Management. All requests should go to Danielle Copeland. She's the coordinator for the on the youth side for the summer pace program. HR policies and employee safety. So work rules and disciplinary policies, all of those things are in the manual. You guys can read over it and make sure you guys review it as well. But there's the complaint and grievance procedures, the intern suspension and termination, which we try to refrain from. If you guys are having any issues with interns and candidates, we ask that you talk to the career coach before termination is warranted or requested. So we do work with you guys to get the youth up to par. Do we always do coaching? We always come back to say, hey, for example, if a youth is always on their phone or they're not wearing the right uniforms, we always you could tell the career coach, we always go back and we recoach them to get them up to par. So the we want a very high success rate. So with the employer working with the career coaches is to get the youth up to par and do what they're supposed to do to end the program successfully. So, as you've seen, read termination of the intern from the program is determined by the program director. Okay. And it's also very important to notify the career coach from the onset of any issues or challenges. It's 6 weeks. It's not a long time. So if we could nip it in the bud as early as possible, please let the business services consultant and the career coaches know. Obviously, we all know employee safety is first. If working outdoors, please advise the intern to wear appropriate attire and use sunscreen and insect repellent as needed. Train intern on the proper use of machinery, if allowable, based on child labor laws. Worksite responsibilities. Provide orientation to the intern on the first day of work. Engage the intern with meaningful tasks and work assignments. Ensure that participants receive fair treatment. Clearly define expectations. Provide interns with feedback on their performance. Ensure ongoing communication between you and your assigned recruiting coach, which is also the career coach. Consider all interns for any unsubsidized job openings which may arise within your organization. Work sites must maintain compliance with all applicable child labor laws and maintain appropriate work site supervisory ratio, which cannot exceed 7 to 1. Okay, the fun part, the recruitment events. So this year, the summit dates are going to be the first one will be Monday, June 1st. It will be in Pinellas at the Barack Obama Library. It's going to be from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. And then we have the Hillsborough County Summits, which the first one, the date has changed. I know previously it was June 3rd. I want to make it clear that the date for the region is going to be June 2nd, which is a Tuesday, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. 12 p.m. will be time for setup. The job fair starts at 1 p.m. and ends at 4 p.m. For the Tampa location, it's going to be on June 5th, which is a Friday, and it's going to be at Feeding Tampa Bay, and it's the same time from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Now, if you hire your candidates within the first 30 minutes, you are welcome to leave. You do not have to stay until 4 p.m.
Crystal,
Yes.
can you confirm the dates? Because Leandra had shared the third with us. Is it the second or the third for the
It's
read?
this. So the region is the second.
Okay.
It's June 2nd, Tuesday, June 2nd.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. At the summits, okay, employers will be conducting many interviews with the candidates using a speed dating approach. I'm going to hone in on this a little bit. Speed dating because you guys cannot interview someone and then say, "Hey, I'm going to see what else is out there." I guarantee you that person is going to be hired by another employer, and you might risk not hiring a candidate for your 6 weeks. If you interview someone, hire them on the spot. I would not recommend that you wait for other students to come in or to see what other students are available. I would suggest that you hire right away. Employers must select candidates the same day. There's not, oh, tomorrow, next week, later on today. It has to be during those hours from 1 to 4. You have to hire a candidate between that time. Once a candidate is selected, the employer must provide the youth with the PWE worksite referral form. Those forms will be available the day of the summit, and we will go over more in depth with the form as well, right? During the summit, I'll let you guys know what copy stays with you, what copy goes with the intern, and what copies go with CareerSource Tampa Bay. But those forms will be at the summit in a folder. On those forms, the position title, the work schedule, work site address, the supervisor to contact, it has to be noted. Just in case something happens on the first day, the intern should have that information. The youth were provided a listing of all employers earlier that day. As I mentioned, they will be in workshops. They're going to be provided a list, so they're also mapping out where they're going to head soon as that summit starts. They have been informed the protocol of the event, so they know what they have to do the day of the event. The youth have attended employability skills training and are prepared to interview with you guys during the summit. They are going to be highly motivated and excited to secure a paid work experience position with your company. So just keep that in mind as well. This is the referral form that I was mentioning. Um, we call it a triplicate. It's going to be, I think, white, yellow, and pink, right? So the pink goes to you guys. So the employer is going to keep the pink. The yellow goes to the student, and the white top page stays with CareerSource Tampa Bay. And I will remind you guys, Kevin and I will remind you guys during the summit as well. Employers will need to fill out the worksite information in the area outlined in red and also enter the date that they will start and proposed schedule for the first week. Like I said, this information is very important for the intern. And then prior to your departure of the summit, um, you have to make sure that you have the right copy. The attachment one, which is the training outlines that you guys completed with the business services consultant, is signed. The CSTB employer survey, which you guys will receive one, is completed, and then the acknowledgement form, which we're planning on putting it inside the folder, saying that you guys attended the supervisor training, should be signed as well, or maybe we send it via email. But as I mentioned before, once you filled all open positions, you are free to leave the event. I just want to say thank you guys for participating in the Summer Pays Paid Work Experience program. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Kevin and I are here to answer them.
Hello, thank you so much, Crystal, for your detailed and thorough explanation. I
Hmm.
wanted to just quickly ask about those forms again, just so when the day of, we're not scrambling trying to ask or know again, so I can have our team be prepared. The very top one you mentioned goes to who, and the second layer and the third layer? Because this is a couple years we've done it, but it always seems to be confusion on the day of, so I want to get it
Oh,
solidified.
absolutely. So it's going to be what we call a triplicate, right? And I think,
Okay.
Kevin, you could stop sharing. I don't think I have. Are you, because can you guys see me?
Yes.
You can see me? Okay, perfect. So on the day of, in the folder, it's going to be a triplicate form. It looks like this. Okay. So the white one goes to CareerSource Tampa Bay, which your youth is they're gonna take it from you and bring it to us. So we receive the white one. The yellow one, which is right here, the youth will keep the yellow, right? So when you complete the form, just rip the pink copy off. It's pink, and you keep that copy and you give the youth the white and the yellow copy. So once you hire them, just rip the pink, keep the pink, and send them on their way with the white and yellow copy.
Thank you.
No problem.
Good
Um,
morning.
okay.
Good morning.
This is Carla with St. Pete Youth Farm. So we've done the summer pays for a couple of years.
Mhm.
When you talked about the manpower and the Friday, making sure that payroll or whatever is submitted by Friday, isn't that done by the teen and not by us? And then I
Yes.
have until Monday to approve it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
So
just verifying.
because previously we did do it where it was timesheets, it was cumbersome. So now we're doing everything through Manpower.
Yeah, that's how we did it before. Last year we did it through Manpower.
Yes.
I'm trying to see. I thought I had another question. I'll come back with my other question.
Okay.
This is Stephen Albert, Lucky Martin. This is the first time we've done the hiring event approach. Before we just got resumes. Um,
Okay.
with we're over here in Pinellas Park. But what we're looking for is a fairly specialized skill in AI and computer science. Um, if we do not find the candidate, one, does the candidates know, like when you talk about that pre-huddle that they'll get to and get information,
Hmm.
for example, just Lockheed does all sorts of stuff, right? But
Right.
what we're looking for is kind of unique. Do they know, how do we relay that information to them? And if we don't find the candidates in the Pinellas one, one person mentioned in the chat, can we hire outside the summit, or would we then go to the other summits to try to find those candidates?
So, great question. The thing about it is that the other summits are in Hillsborough County, and a lot of the students are, because it's during the summer and they're 16, traveling is going to be something that's going to be a pinpoint for them because coming from Tampa to Pinellas might be difficult. So we wouldn't have you come to the Tampa or the Riverview summit. Now, if you don't find any candidate during that time, um there is potential to vet other candidates for you from a different pool. That right there is where you have to talk to your business service consultant on how to tap into that pool because these candidates are like because you're part of the program is specific, they're specific for you, they're specific for you. Also, it's mentoring. So when you do your speed dating approach, my advice to you is to vet the candidates that you think would be trainable, that you think you could work with to get them up to par on your specifics. I hope that answered your question.
It did. Yeah, specifically the first one about the intention. That's a good point. We had that same challenge because Pinellas, just like Hillsborough, it's a fairly large area. So when people were coming to town,
Yes.
their parents were dropping them off in the, we know because we start work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and parents weren't very excited about that.
Right.
One thing to bring up. So you mentioned about the Friday. So we are a 410 facility. So we work Monday through Thursday, 10 hours a day, um, and then Fridays we have off. Is that a concern? It's
No,
like 40 hours or whatever, but that's okay.
no, it's not a concern. You just have to make sure that the youth have their 20 hours between Monday through Thursday. So if
So
that's an extra, if
it's
that's a,
20 hours this week, or last year was 20 hours as well. So it's 20 hours this week, this time as well.
yes, it's 20 hours per week as well this time.
Okay.
Britt, I see Britt. I know your hand is up. I think you're on mute though.
My bad.
No,
Hi,
it's
my name
fine.
is Brittany. I'm the manager here at the Tough Spot in Hillsborough County. I
Hmm.
have a question. Will we get that form to sign digital, or will our business consultant, like after we hire, come out so we can sign?
You're talking about the supervisor manual acknowledgement form?
Yes.
Yeah, so you could get it digitally. I'm going to have them send you actually because you guys are not here in person. I'm going to have the BSC send you a digital copy of the manuals also. Because if you're not the supervisor on hand, I would like for every supervisor to read over it, go through it, and see what the expectations are. So we'll
Okay.
have it sent to you, and then you could sign it, and you could either bring it on the day of your summit, or you could send it back via email.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any further questions or any concerns? I think
I just,
Isabel has her hand up.
yes,
Or
hi,
no?
I'm Isabel from La Dipperie. I'm in Pinellas as well. And my question was basically, we've got the summit on the first. When does the start date for the the employees start, basically? Do we start right away? We start a week
No.
later? When does a program
So
exactly
the
start?
the first day of work for the youth will be June 15th, and the last day will be July 26th. So on
Perfect.
that
Thank
form,
you.
yeah, on that form, you make sure that you guys are choosing June 15th. We cannot start before June 15th. So the first day of work will be June 15th. You start that day and you put the time that the youth has to show up for work.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think Wilma, if I see Wilma hand is up.
Yes, quick question. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. So I'm actually the executive director, and I signed off on the original forms. However, other individuals will be supervising. We have two supervisors, but you only had a place for one additional. So a lot of times I'm not available to sign. So I'm just trying to make sure that, are you saying that we need to make sure if there, because you just mentioned that you wanted all the supervisors to go over the document. Do
No,
we
so
just add that? Mm-hmm,
no, no, no. So you attended, right? And you're here.
mm-hmm.
So you will be signing off on the acknowledgement form. But I do want,
Okay.
if you guys do have alternate supervisors though, I do want them to get the same information that you have so we're all clear across the board. And that information is in the manual. So have them review it as well. But they don't have just I just need one person to sign off that they attended the this training and they received the information.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Crystal, and I would like to add that this meeting is being recorded, so we'll share it with the group so that they can have it and share it with their employees, right?
Yes, correct. It is being
Perfect, perfect.
recorded. Um, once they had the manual, they could watch this as well and acknowledge that they did receive the information. Ryan, I think his hand is up.
Hi there, it's Ryan from Amgen. Our office is located near the airport, and we elected to go to the Riverview Summit. Wondering, is it better for us to go to the East Tampa one, or what sort of pool of candidates are attracted to either one, or is it evenly dispersed?
It's evenly dispersed. To be honest with you, it's evenly
Okay.
dispersed, and they're all. If you look at the location, they're all in the same vicinity. Because
Okay.
what we do try, I just want you guys to understand, we do try to accommodate both the employers and the youth, mostly the youth though, on
Hmm.
the places of the summits. But Tampa will have review candidates or vice versa.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You mentioned a form. So how do we, for the people on the call today that have got their training, how do we acknowledge that we took the training? Or
So
how do we acknowledge the people that are here?
yeah, so the business service consultant, which is who you did your agreement with, will send you a copy, a digital copy. It will have the acknowledgement form on there. You could sign it and send it back to them, or you could sign it and give it to them at the summit.
Okay.
So
And
you could bring it in signed and say, "Hey, I have it right here." You can hand it to Kevin or a business service consultant. They will be there. A participant will be there, um, manning the event. So you have someone that you can hand it to.
okay. So we'll get that form, I guess, and we'll sign it and hand it. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Next question is, I'm assuming this will be just like a booth, so they'll have a table set up for us. I say set up. There'll be a table out. We'll stand behind the table. We'll put drape our banner over the front of it and wait for students to come there.
Yes.
Perfect.
And the folder with the referral forms will be on the table.
Okay. And these are like standard, like 6 foot long tables, something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Standard tables.
And as far as the interaction, this is Wilma with that. What are we allowed to essentially, because we've not done this under my leadership, so I just want to confirm, like we tend to do giveaways and things like that at events. So do we go to that level, or is it just generally what we feel is best to communicate what our organization is about during that short period of time with the youth?
Yeah, I would gauge. So whatever position personally with me, for example, Lockheed Martin, as he mentioned, he has very specifics, right? The advice I would give you guys is to specifically ask probing questions when it comes to the positions to see if this person will be a good fit for your organization. If you find time and you want to give away something, that's fine if you have time to do that. But I would ask probing questions to make sure this candidate will fit the culture, will fit the position, will work. Like for example, Lockheed Martin again, Monday through Thursday, that's probably going to be a 6 hour day. Would you willing to work 6 hours? Like things like that. So it's like a really, really quick interview. I'm sorry.
Good
Did I
morning.
answer the question though? Because I want to make sure you guys are not
Yes,
confused or clear.
I think I'm clear.
Oh, you
Thank
clear?
you.
Okay, no
Yes.
problem. You're welcome. I had Michael. I saw Michael hand was up.
Yes, thank you. So we've done the summer PACE program previously, but this is the first year we've kind of heard about the summit and particularly having to be there. So is that required, mandatory?
Yes. The reason why it's required and is mandatory is because if you're not there, you're not there to pick a youth. So I would,
Okay.
yeah, you'd
Well,
probably
one
want
was
to.
assigned to us last year, so it wasn't mandatory last year. So
Yeah,
that's
so we're just streamlining the process for across both counties. Hillsborough and Pinellas, we're bringing, everything together. And so the summit is new to Pinellas. And so this is just also a way to have students experience interviewing and getting them up to par with how interviews work and giving them those workshop skills. So this is why we're incorporating it rather than we just match an employer and the candidate just shows up. We want to make sure we're taking these candidates through the whole process.
I get it and it makes sense. It's just it wasn't a requirement last year, so
Yeah.
I'll figure something out.
Okay. Any more questions or concerns?
I have a question. I have
Mhm.
two. Someone gave me a thumbs up, but I just want to hear it out. Somebody just said, yes, that's correct. Okay, so Pinellas is June 1st, Obama Library, 1 to 2:30. That's my first question, right?
Correct.
All right, next question. Do you have the way it's playing out on your part? Is it that the number of youth showing up are equal to the number of opportunities, or are there more opportunities or more youth?
I'm gonna let Kevin answer for okay, so for here on Hillsborough side, we match the opportunities with the youth. We try to match it as much as possible because we want everyone to leave with a job and we want all employers to leave with a candidate.
Okay.
So we try to and we do try to and it's not only also the youth and the employer, we try to match with also positions as well and what interests the youth as well. So
So when they show up, I'm confused. If you match them, but we're interviewing and vetting.
no, we don't match them to you. No, 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 no. I'm so sorry. Let me explain. So what happens is we try to go off of the youth. For example, let's say we have 15 youth that are interested in medical assistant, and we as consultants will go out to medical doctors' offices to try and find doctors' offices that offer medical assistant. But we don't say, "Hey, Kathy, you're going to this employer." We don't match like that. Matching happens at the summit.
Okay. So let's just say I'm from a medical facility. You all would let me know, hey, these 15 youth over here are interested in the field of medicine. And then I would know, oh, I could talk to them because they're interested. Is that how it goes?
No. So what happens at the summit is, as I mentioned, that the youth will have all the medical because you're not going to be the only medical facility. So they
Mhm.
have all the medical facilities on that paper and what position you guys are hiring for, and they'll
Mhm.
look at it and come straight to you.
Oh, got it. So
Yeah,
we're sitting in place and they're walking
coming
around.
to you.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Just to reiterate for everyone, this is going to be like, I'll turn on my camera for this. This is a job fair style. So the employers are behind the table with chairs. The candidates are going to come in, they're going to sign in, they're going to look at the opportunities, approach you all, and you all have the opportunity to um, quote unquote sell the opportunity to the employer, see if it's a good fit for them, they see if it's a good fit for you, and then at that point, that's when the triplicates come into effect. You fill out the white one, give it to them, the yellow one goes to the consultant. Is that right, Crystal?
No, the yellow one goes to the youth, the white one goes to the consultant, and the pink stays with the employer.
That's what it is. Okay. And we're going to remind everybody on the day of. So,
Yes, the day of,
with all
yeah.
these colors and stuff, well, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
So one goes to the student, one goes to the consultant. They go get enrolled into the payroll, our payroll stuff, which is Manpower,
Manpower. Yeah.
that organization. And then everything's confirmed at that point. You'll know once everything's confirmed with Manpower, and then they'll be able to start with you as soon as June 5th, as
Pink.
soon as June 15th.
I got another question and potential concern is I'm thinking the biggest potential barrier these day of hirings right on the spot is transportation potentially being a barrier. So these youth are going to be prepared to know the location and know that they'll be able to make it there on the spot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and ideally, I would make a note for you or your team who's going to be there to reiterate that. Hey, do you
Mm-hmm.
have reliable transportation? This is just like a simulated job fair. So when you speak to for preliminary questions, when you select an employee, that's one of the preliminary questions: reliable transportation, team player, finding out these basic interests. So just include that in that preliminary questions when you're meeting candidates.
Yeah, I just know as an adult though, you have control of your transportation, and a lot of these youth probably don't.
Right.
So
Yeah, they've been
No, but they're fully, yeah, they're
yeah,
fully
they're
aware, and
aware.
they're that's like I was mentioning. A lot of these locations we try to accommodate as much as possible, but they're aware that they are on their own with transportation and they need to make it to work on time. As Kevin mentioned, reiterate the timing. For another example, again, Lockheed Martin, he mentioned 6 a.m. That's something that he should, mention when interviewing these students, that hey, 6 a.m. is when it starts. Are you going to be able to show up at that time? So just ask those probing questions during those interviews, and you could gauge if that student is going to be a best fit for you and your organization.
got it. Okay.
Similar question, not similar, but a question that looks like Brittany on here. So we, with the 20-hour limitation, we would probably go for like 6 candidates like we did last year. We'll see who shows up, obviously, and who's interested in what we're having to do. But um, you mentioned on the for the Hillsborough summits that you can show up at 12, get set up, and the thing starts at 1. But that note was not for the Pinellas. So for the Pinellas ones in the library, can we also show up sometime early to get set up and at 1 o'clock
You
we're
show
ready?
Oh, so I'm sorry, majority of you guys should have got a confirmation email. If you have not gotten one, please let Kevin know. But in the email, it states that you will show up at 12 for setup, and it starts at 1 and it ends at 2:30.
I'm assuming that I'm assuming Kevin did his thing and I'm just a dummy. So
No, you're not a dummy. No, no, you're not. It's at 12 p.m. across the board. So 12 p.m. is set up, and then you meet with the students at 1 p.m.
sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that was a good question because I didn't mention Hillsborough. I mean, when I'm speaking with the setup time, and the locations, a majority of it is for across the board, Pinellas and Hillsborough, because we are one. Any other questions or concerns? No? Okay, well, if you guys think of any other questions or any other concerns, you guys can reach out to me or Kevin or your assigned business services consultant. Thank you again for participating, and I'm looking forward to this summer.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You guys are welcome.
Thank you.
Have a great day.